Hello. Hello. I will wait just a little bit for more. Hi. Hey guys. Hey, I know you. Uh, so I think we all know what's been happening a few days. Can you hear me? Is the sound okay? Hey guys, thank you. Is my sound okay? Hello. Okay, cool. Um, okay. So we all know what's been going on the past few days, and thank you for letting me know about the sound because I'm not used to using my webcam, and this is my first time being live. I'm so nervous. But I wanted to talk about what's been going on the past few days. First of all, I'm looking at your comments. How are you feeling? What are your thoughts on what's been happening the past few days? I don't know about you, but when was the 6th? That was Wednesday, right? I went to sleep. Twitter banned Trump and conservatives. Yeah, I know that's happening like crazy right now. And I'm on Parler. Parler, I think, is crashed right now because so many people are going on there. I've been on Rumble. I haven't posted a lot on Rumble recently, but I'm getting better about doing that. I also really like On Locals. That's Dave Rubin's platform, so I'm setting up there, and I will definitely let you know about that. But I'm going to start Italy. I'm from Italy. Steve Bannon Worm deleted tonight on YouTube. I know that's crazy. Like, I'm okay because I'm so small. No one knows who I am, but it's definitely really scary. And I've worked really hard to get to know you guys and develop this platform. And it's insane. I can't use or sign up to Parler. Don't have a mobile phone. Yeah. And Parler, I think, is crashed right now again, but it should be fine pretty soon. Hi, Sarita. Glad to hear an update from your view. Yeah, okay. So, do you want me to talk about what happened on the Capitol? And I've been reviewing. I know I've been silent. I had to get my own shit together, I guess, if you could, because I'm doing good. I will say, like Wednesday, I woke up early in the morning, and it was so early that there wasn't really an update on anything. And I was doing some work. I went back to sleep, woke up at noon, and it was like the world went to shit. And it was just the weirdest thing. Um, Hi from the Caribbean. Hello, hi. I'm doing good. I think it's the bullshit. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it was like the world went to crap. So what happened on the well, a lot of things happened. First, we found out that the Democrats won the Senate. So that was kind of the first thing. They won both seats in the Senate in Georgia. Yeah, I agree with you. Both sides need to chill. You're totally right. Yeah, so Democrats won both seats in the Senate. So I think people were a little heated from that. And then they had the Stop the Steal rally in DC. Trump, I think it was like hundreds of thousands of people showed up there. Trump gave his speech. So they were in like the grassy area. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the chat like while I'm talking to you. So they were in the grassy area. Trump is giving his speech. He says in his speech, we're going to march to the Capitol, but do it peacefully. And the reason he says that is because there was an event planned at the Capitol. So after all those speeches were done, there was another event planned at the Capitol, and there were speakers. Thank you. Please. I don't know how long I'll be on here. There were speakers that were planned to speak at the Capitol building. So people were going there to see the speakers there. So that's why people went over to the Capitol building, and apparently they all walked to the Capitol building. And at around the time that people were around there is when they got the notice that Pence was going to go ahead and certify for Biden. And I think that's the point where things turned. It turned a little bit before that. There were a few agitators that were breaking windows on the Capitol building. And there was, I know one agitator that I know of that was taken away by police officers, and the crowd cheered. They were like, take them away. We don't like those people. The Dems appear to have won. Yeah, you're right. Are there any? I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Democrats won both seats on the Senate. They certified Biden's win. Trump, publicly conceded. And he also, yeah, he said there was going to be a peaceful transfer of power. He also announced today that he was going to not be attending the inauguration. And what happened in the past hour, I'm sure a lot of you saw. I'm from Georgia. I'm sure a lot of you saw that Twitter just banned Trump, I think, permanently. And they're also doing a huge purge right now on conservative voices, which is why a lot of people are going to Parler, and Parler is crashing. God, this is also concerning. I know. Yeah, I agree. And yes, thank you. Do that. Amazing how much the media portrays what happened in the Capitol for months. And they have, yeah, I know. I'm angry. That's why I didn't, and I apologize for being really inconsistent since the election, but it's been this sort of thing. I think after the election, a lot of you and I as well, it's like, wow, we knew things were bad, but we didn't realize how bad they were. And that's sort of how I was feeling after the election. And I kind of had to take a step back and say, okay, what do I believe? Am I on the right side? Am I believing the right things? And first of all, the answer is yes. But I took that reflection because of just everything that we saw. It was really shocking. He didn't actually concede there. Well, he didn't technically say that he was conceding. What he said, he goes, I support a peaceful transfer of power. So that's what he said. He didn't technically say, I conceded, but he did say, I support a peaceful transfer of power. Did you hear the idea that this was a plot? Yeah, I did see that her laptop was gone. I don't know if it was a plot to steal it. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm from Texas and stationed in Fort Stewart, but I'm upset if they change. Yeah. Who knows? I don't know, but I will say this. I took the time to really look at everything that happened on the Capitol yesterday. And I have to say this, and I know that some people are going to be mad, but I have to be honest and I have to be fair. And it was a lot of Trump supporters that were being very violent. And if I'm going to call out the left for being violent, I also have to call it them. Yes, there was some Antifa that were in the crowd, I'm sure. And of course you are too. We know they're little shits. That's what they do. Of course, a few of them were sprinkled in the crowd. And I think I actually even saw video of one of them, but it was a lot of Trump supporters. And the thing was, what you have to understand, and I don't condone any of the violence, any of the breaking windows, any of the going into offices, stuff like that. I know it can be a little funny, but I don't condone any of that. And some of the images I saw coming out of yesterday were really disturbing. I mean, I saw people getting crushed. I saw the girl that passed away. I saw people assaulting officers. I saw officers assaulting people. So a lot of it was really violent and it was really concerning. But given that, there was also a lot of people that were far away from this that had no idea the violence was happening. So yes, we need to condemn this area. And yes, that happened. And yes, a lot of people were very violent, but there were also a lot of people that had no idea what was going on. And you have to look at this from a nuanced perspective. And another thing that's really interesting, I have been following all of these, I know, free speech. Yeah. I know, I'm so disappointed too, and it was so embarrassing and it was so angering. I agree with you. And again, you do have to look at it as a nuanced perspective. Even with like the BLM riots, you have the extremist, and then you have the majority of the people that were there because they thought they were doing a good thing. They were there because of social justice or whatever. They think we might not agree with them, but they think they're doing a good thing. And that was yesterday. A lot of people were there for great reasons. And you had some agitators that were very violent, and of course the media ran with that, and they ran away with it. A few people are saying that Antifa, it was them that did the violence. And again, I'm sure a few of them were sprinkled in, but we have to be honest, it was a lot of Trump supporters that were, and they literally beat their way in. I saw the footage, and there's footage from different areas. Some areas you'll see where cops were letting people in. Other areas you'll see where people were literally beating their way into the building. There was about, I think, 4 layers of barriers that they beat in. But at the same time, if you were someone that came in later, or if you were someone that was at the other end of the crowd, you wouldn't have seen any of that. All it looks like to you is people are walking in. I'm trying to see. I don't condone. Yeah, right. We need to make a government. Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. How disgusting. And I'll even, hold on. Oh yeah, and we had quotes from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from back in, I think it was like December or June, I can't remember when it was, where she was saying, who said that protests should be comfortable? We should be making people uncomfortable. We had Nancy Pelosi. We had Kamala Harris. How many elected officials were not saying anything about the violence all summer, and then now all of a sudden they're appalled at the violence? We're all appalled at the violence. I'm appalled at what I saw. I'm angry at what I saw. I'm disturbed at what I saw. 5 people passed away. That should not have happened. I am just as appalled as what I saw on the 6th as I am at everything I saw all summer. And I think all you are as well. We don't change. We do not like the violence. What's interesting, I'm trying to read your comments at the same, our system, yep. Yeah. Showed up in someone's video. Trying to hold back. Yeah. They laughed at Trump going to the bunker. Yeah, I know. They told us that the riots all summer were peaceful protests. And then when it happened to their house, all of a sudden they started caring about the riots, and they started caring about the violence and the protests. Yeah, that's frustrating. And something else that's really interesting about, so I think on my YouTube channel right now, I have about 230 videos, and a lot of those videos, Trump about, a lot of those videos, we were talking about the riots and covering the riots and the protests over the summer. So I've seen, I don't know how many videos I made about the protests and the riots. I don't know how many of the footage that I've gone through, but the difference with this crowd, with any other crowd, every protest has its set of agitators, right? And typically the agitators they're pretty young. They're either really young and dumb, and I'm not making fun of young and dumb people. I used to be young and dumb. We all did. They're either like really young people that are not very smart, or they're people with a criminal history, or they're just the type of people that don't have anything to lose. There are a certain type of people, and those are the type of people that are usually doing the agitating in these situations. They're breaking into the buildings, they're looting, or they're being aggressive towards officers. The difference with this crowd yesterday, or not yesterday, on Wednesday, was that this was an older crowd. This was a crowd, if you looked at the people, a lot of these people, they probably had jobs. They probably have kids or grandkids. And so that right there is just, again, I'm not condoning anything that they did, but that has to make you think. These people are people that have something to lose. You don't typically see this type of behavior from people that have that much to lose. This behavior typically comes from people that don't have anything to lose. So that just goes to show that And even after the riots, I saw 3 videos. It was one of Lindsey Graham, it was one of Mitch McConnell, and it was one of another senator, and they were all at airports. And people saw them at the airports and they started filming. And again, I am not condoning this behavior by any means, but I'm just saying this is something that we need to talk about. This is something that we have to have a conversation about. So they approached these senators and they're filming and they're yelling at them. They're like, traitor, 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 F you. You turned your back on us. They're screaming at these people and mobbing these people, okay? And we've seen this before, right? We've seen this all summer. We've talked about this all summer. We have condemned this all summer. We've seen it. But the difference is, this time that I saw it, these were like middle-aged house moms. They probably have minivans and these are the type of people that are doing this right now, the type of people that have things to lose. And you have to question what pushed these people so far. Could it be that they've been demonized by the media for 4.5 years? The president that they elected has been demonized by the media the past 4 years. They've lost their jobs. They've been deplatformed. These people have been abused. So I condone everything. But at the same time, we have to understand where this is coming from. Just like the people from BLM are saying, hear us, listen to us, understand where we're coming from, we have to do the same thing here. And I'm very critical of the BLM movement, and I always have been. But I will say this. I've been to several protests, and I've gone to the protests, and I've walked with them. I've talked to them. I'm very critical of their movement. You can look at my videos. I'm critical of the whole movement. But I understand their emotion. I respect their emotion, and I respect their right to protest. Where it draws the line is when you get aggressive. I even respect them walking down the street and saying, F Trump, F police. Do that. If that's what you need to do, do it. But where I draw the line is where you start getting aggressive towards other people, whether it's innocent civilians, whether it's police officers. That's where I draw the line. And I hold the same standard with my party. Even though I understand their feelings and where they're coming from, I hold the same standard with them. And the truth is, there was an officer that died. He got hit in the head with a fire extinguisher and passed away in the hospital. And there was an unarmed girl that got shot by police officers. There's another girl that was crushed to death. I think a guy that died of a heart attack, another of a stroke. I think we need to confirm that. Hey guys, I'm just trying to read your comments. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. Lindsey Graham deserves. Yeah, it was him. And the crazy thing is, it was Lindsey Graham in the airport. And it was like, I'm not joking. It was like middle-aged, like 40-year-old women that were surrounding him, yelling. I've never seen anything like that. Like I told you guys, I see this stuff, but it's typically really young people or people with like a criminal record or the people that just have nothing to lose. These are Americans that have been pushed to their limits, that have just been abused and they have had enough. And I don't condone any violence or anything like that, but I understand where they're coming from. And the media right now, and Trump's, yeah, deactivate airport. Thank you for that. That's really nice. I don't know either. Yeah, but I'm going on other platforms too. And I've been lazy on them because some of them, it kind of sucks. Like you're used to doing YouTube. I'm so used to YouTube. I'm so used to Twitter. I got comfortable using them. And now I'm getting to know new platforms. How are you guys feeling? What do you think about what happened on, thank you, what happened on Capitol Hill? I mean, in all honesty, and another reason why I just went live instead of making a video is because I want to, everything seems really bad right now and I get it. And everything seems against us or everyone or you or whoever, and I get it, and it does seem like that, and especially right now, like there is some crazy deplatforming happening right now, like crazy deplatforming. Trump just got banned from Twitter. Our sitting U.S. president just got banned from Twitter, and people are like losing followers like crazy because everyone's getting banned, and I know it's scary. I missed the beginning of the stream. We just started talking about what happened on Capitol Hill and what led up to it, and sort of, yeah. Yeah, funky. I know, I agree with it. So yeah, it's really funky right now. You're right. It's super funky right now. But I honestly, I don't know. I have hope. What do you guys think? They ruined his chance. Yeah, I mean, when people act crazy like that, I get mad too, because we're supposed to be the party of law and order. We are supposed to be the party that respects the Constitution and that likes law and order and that likes tradition. So yeah, it was embarrassing. It made me mad. Thank you. I'm not scared. New party needed for sure. Yeah, I think a third party is a good idea. I mean, yeah, a third party is a good idea. Things have changed. Third party is a good idea, and also promoting people to be individuals, not to have a loyal following to one party or another party, or not to have a loyal following to one person or another. You have to be able to see flaws in people, and you have to be able to see flaws in your own party and call it out and go where you think is right. 2 dozen idiots storm the Capitol. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's exactly what they're doing. Yeah. Yeah, they made, yeah. And that, like, it was such a confusing feeling too, because it was like I understood their anger, but at the same time it's like, dude, no. Hit it against each other. Yeah, and being called, yep. I have hope also. Yeah, no, I do have hope. And I actually said this on my Twitter today. I said, and this is something I think this has taught me more than anything, because I think the reason a lot of conservatives are feeling really sad and really lonely right now also is because we feel like all of the like right after the election, and then even more so after yesterday, it's like every Republican like turned their back on us. They turned their back on us. They turned their back on Trump. And it's this weird, lonely feeling. And it's angering, and it makes you feel defeated, and it makes you lose hope. Where was I going with that? Yes, one has been activated, a BLM activate. Yeah, and I for sure think that there was BLM and there was Antifa sprinkled in the crowd, but we do have to be honest, it was mostly Trump people. It was. I know a few of them were probably sprinkled, and they were probably doing nasty things. And they're little stinkers, and we know it, and they're slimy, and I definitely spotted a few in there, but it was mostly Trump supporters. Yes, individuality, that's where I was going. Thank you. We need to go back to whatever our own personal faith is, and individuality, and choosing for yourself, and being critical of everyone equally. Not third party. Yeah, okay. Only one BLM confirmed. Yeah, it was that guy that got arrested that was next to, unfortunately, the girl that, yeah, 40 million under one roof. That's too many people for one roof. 40 million people. You might be right. That I think that might be the problem with California. There's just too many of us. Honestly, I don't know. Do we really believe a third party? I really don't know. I don't know, but I know where I was going. I know where I was going right now. What I said on my Twitter was this, and let me know if you guys agree, because I'm looking at your comments as I'm talking, but this is what I said on my Twitter. I said, do you know what they're afraid of the most? So what I have learned through all of this, when I take a step back and look at everything, there's radicals on both sides. There's middle people on both sides. And then most of us have common sense. Okay, anyway, maybe not. Maybe we don't all have common sense. But what I mean is there's radicals on both sides. And our politicians have successfully pitted us against each other. Their biggest fear is us uniting and coming together and getting along. Because as long as we're against each other, we're distracted fighting against each other. But if we're united, and that's where I hope the future goes. I might be being too hopeful, but I hope that we can unite. And where I see little specks of hope is when I see BLM is like, Biden, why aren't you meeting with us? Or BuzzFeed and Vox are like, Biden, why aren't you answering our questions? Why do you only answer questions from a few amount of people? Or when I see Sean King say, you know, I think this, but I saw that shooting at Capitol Hill yesterday with that girl, and it was pretty bad. Or when I see Emily Ratajkowski, I know she's a celebrity, but still, when I see her say, wow, it's kind of odd how this event happened that made supporters of the president look really bad, and then all of a sudden they started censoring everyone. That's when I start to see hope. And I start to see hope when people in Los Angeles that voted for our very progressive DA, George Gascon, I start to see hope when I see people like, wow, I voted for him and I was duped, man. And when I see them talking about the money that gets pumped into their campaigns, and I see them having these conversations that, again, these are conversations that didn't happen a few years ago and they're happening now. So I do, Georgia, I see the peaches. I do have hope. And a lot of people are making new entertainment platforms, and a lot of people are making new social media platforms. And yeah, it's not over, man. It's just the beginning. And I have more hope than Princess Leia. I have to. You can't live any other way. And another thing I learned too, and I took like yesterday and the day before, take care of yourself. Like, take care of your family and take care of yourself. And Sarah, don't need no Obi-Wan Kenobi. No. Hopefully everybody can unite one day. Heck, I'm a Trump supporter and my girlfriend is a Biden supporter. That's awesome. And guess what? We're still together. Yeah, just like I said, thank you. Yeah, just like I used to go, I'm so critical of the BLM movement, but I used to go to their protests are around my house all the time. I would go, I would talk to people, I would ask them questions. I wanted to know why they were there. And most of the time I found I don't agree with why they're there. I don't agree with their messaging, but I agree with their feeling. They're there because of a feeling. And I can accept that. They're like, I feel this way, and that's why I'm here. I'm like, yeah, I felt that way before. I don't agree with your movement, but I can at least agree with you on a human level that I understand why you're here. Again, I don't condone people being aggressive towards cops or damaging property, but and I'm talking about the people that are there peacefully. But that's where we need to go. And something I've learned too, like being outspoken online, I've had to debate with a lot of people online. That makes me so uncomfortable. But what I've learned is I get the most traction with people. I get the most understanding when I lead with, when I lead with, I agree with you on this. So we'll start debating and they'll start to be really snarky with me and they'll say something insulting, but I'll find something in there that we both agree on and I lead with that. I'm like, you know what? I agree with you on that. We're on the same page here. And then I try to build from that. Because again, I think the scariest thing for anyone in power is for everyone else to be united. Why do you think they have to pit us against each other? I am too. And look at it this way. At the beginning of the Trump presidency, look how much the Democrats were freaking out because Republicans had the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They were losing their minds. But nothing really happened the first 2 years, remember? I don't know, man. Unless, yeah. I hope not. Good for you. What does that mean? I'm hoping I'll be like most presidential. Yeah, I really do think. I honestly think we have 2 years. I actually I am taking a class on how to run for things, not saying I want to run for anything, but just to be educated and to maybe help other people out. This has lit a fire under a lot of people's butts that have previously not had fire lit under their butts. So that is the good news. And also the good news, again, I'm going to bring up George Gascon because I really do think California is the future of progressive America. George Gascon, if you look at his Facebook page, people are just red pilled like crazy. So sometimes you do have to go over the deep end just a little bit to realize, yikes, maybe I don't like this, or maybe this isn't working out too well. And I've seen this in a lot of cities that have defunded their police, or a lot of cities that have had really progressive policies. Even the city council members are like, whoops. So, hey, my butt is burned to a crisp. Why is your butt burned to a crisp? Biden and Nancy Pelosi are really uniters. No, they are not uniters. And how funny is it? You still see all these companies just race baiting, saying, if this was a BLM protest, or if this was this kind of protest, there would be a lot more police. Well, I'll be honest with you guys. It could have been a setup. You could say that. And if it was a setup, it would have been a really good setup, because what did I tell you set people off? It was the notification that Pence was not going to certify. So that is what set people off. It could have, who knows, it could have been. But also think about this. I mean, just use common sense. Every single Trump rally has been a love fest, or there's been no violence. If there has been violence, and I've seen it here in LA, when you go to a Trump rally or one of the boat parades or one of the car caravans, people are happy. They're waving their flags. And I think that's what was so shocking and what was so heartbreaking to a lot of us, is because this is what we're used to seeing. And this is what we've been trying to tell people. Like, Trump people are really good people. They're not bad people. They're good. Go to a Trump rally. It's a love fest. And then this happened for the whole world to see. And I think it broke a lot of our hearts. And it was like, we already had the Senate blow. We already had the election blow. We already had the blow of just being defamed and defiled and lied about. Blow after blow after blow after blow. How much are you going to take? And again, I am not saying anything they did was okay. I do not think it was okay. It was embarrassing and it was wrong, and 5 people died. And I saw really disturbing footage. Not cool, man. But yeah, they were not a mob or thugs. They were real Americans with real concern. Yeah. No, they didn't burn it down. The Canadians wouldn't have done that. They would have been like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. Canadians are really polite. Yeah, no, you're right. And you're right. The Senate was overtaken during the Kavanaugh hearings, and a lot of people are bringing this up. And I'm glad you brought up that point, because you're right. The Senate was taken over during the Kavanaugh hearings, and people walked in, they took it over. Everyone said it's so brave. And I think that that's where a lot of people were confused. So if you were keep in mind, there were hundreds of thousands of people there. I wasn't there personally, but this is after listening to a bunch of accounts, lots of footage, listening to people that were there. So don't take my word as God-given word, but I'm listening to what other people are saying and for what I'm seeing on video footage. It's being reported that there were hundreds of thousands of people there. So if you were not one of the first people to go into that building, you're right. Keep in mind, people are thinking like, well, the Kavanaugh hearings, people just walked in. So the people towards the back, they're seeing the doors open and they're seeing people just walk in. So they're not knowing what's going on at the beginning. So keep that in mind too. And I'm not saying anyone was okay for going inside the building. I'm just pointing that out as something, because we have to start looking at stuff in nuance. We can't be totalitarian about, I said that wrong, about when we're judging things, because there is nuance. And even in the BLM protests, there's nuance. There's people that are there for a good reason. There's agitators. There's people that are really mad that are not doing things they're supposed to do. And there's people that are just kind of wandering in, being like, what am I doing? And then there's the people outside. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Also, things are different these days. I kick myself for not going out to Mount Rushmore. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, they banned a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's really funny because I had riots happen in my neighborhood. It happened right here. I was actually filming. I was sitting right here in this chair, and on May 31st, while the riots were happening, right outside. If you go back to that video, you would have to go back to that date, I think. You can hear the sirens, and I'm leaving. And after I left, and I left to get out of the city, I saw windows smashed out, burning, looting. I had my car surrounded. It was terrifying. And then I came back the next day and I went to a different part of town and I helped to clean up what the rioters did the night before. And there were businesses that were burnt down. Probably, I think, 3 businesses that were burnt down. There was an elderly home, a nursing home that had a sign outside of it that said, we have sick and elderly in here. Please leave us alone. And I agree with everyone that is condemning what happened on Capitol Hill. I agree with all of them. Just like I've been calling out all the violence all summer. But where were these politicians all summer calling this stuff out? They were encouraging it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, make people uncomfortable. Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, just to name a few. Apple is threatening to remove Parler app. Wow. I would say about where I live, about 30% businesses closed. If I would guess, I would say about 30% of businesses closed. Yeah, of small businesses. Yeah. Well, there's a few other platforms. I'm actually, and I'll let you guys know. There's Parler, which it's crashing right now because so many people are going, and that's more like a Twitter. And then as far as video apps, I know there's BitChute, which I'm not on. There's Rumble. I'm on Rumble. I'm getting used to that. I was a little frustrated with Rumble because it takes so long to get a video uploaded, but I'm getting back on Rumble. I'm really liking Dave Rubin's new app. It's locals.com, and I'm starting a community on there. So I'm working on starting that, and I'll let you guys know. And that's actually really cool because it's a community where we can kind of all communicate with each other. So I'm starting that, but he has a really cool app. You can do video, you can do like sort of blog type stuff. Yeah, and look at the comments because people have other ideas too. Delve? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Parler is up again, but still slow. Okay. I honestly think everyone is going to Parler right now because there's a massive purge going on Twitter. We tried Rumble, had the same. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Rumble. It's just YouTube is so easy to use. And it would take me like almost 45 minutes to an hour to get a video uploaded. I love Dave Rubin. And he had some really good takes on what happened. He also had a really good live stream with 2 people. Elijah Schaefer, I really like. He had a really good live stream with 2 people that were at Capitol Hill. And they had really interesting takes on it. I heard that too. Trump, yeah, they're like, get off Parler, Trump. I did hear that. I heard that Trump joined Parler. Yes, it's free. Parler is free. And I'm gonna stay on YouTube as long as like no one censors me. I'll probably have to be a little careful, but it's free, but you must provide your phone number. Yeah. Yeah, that sounded really cool. The Garden of Heroes. Um, so yeah, that's how I'm very hopeful. I will say I felt Wednesday waking up to all of that, it was a little rough. I felt alone. It was just it was a very strange feeling. And I actually listened to, do you guys know who Katie Hopkins is? She's a little controversial character. She's kind of what do you call it, a provocateur. She's British. She's from the UK. Katie Hopkins. You don't like that they want your Brian Redband. Yep, I have is Redband on here? Anywho, uh, so Katie Hopkins was interviewing the senator. She's a lady. I just discovered who she is. She's from Georgia, which I'm from Georgia, so she's a Georgia girl, which I like her. But her she's got a Georgia name. It's Leanne, Shasta Ann, Amy Ann, Sarah Lee. I don't know. It's one of those names, but she's a really cool chick. And I love Katie. She's really funny. So Katie did an interview with her, and she is one of the few senators that kept her word and that objected to the Biden certification. And she said, and I have so much respect for this because she is a brand new senator. She's Congress, right? I think she's Congress or senator, whatever. She's brand new, and she objected. She's a rep, not a senator. Okay, so she's a rep, not a senator. Thank you. She objected, and she said she's brand new. She's not a politician. She's just a regular person that was frustrated and that wanted to represent people. And she went in there and excuse me, did they just boot? No, they didn't. They make that okay. Stop. But she objected, and Katie Hopkins was doing an interview with her after, and she goes, "I objected, and that was the loneliest feeling I have ever felt in my whole entire life." She goes, "People were not happy with me. And no one else stood behind her, but she's brand new, and she did it, and yeah." Is keeping. Oh, that's the girl from Colorado. I lived in Colorado for a little bit too. Yeah, there's a Colorado congresswoman who is, I think she's younger than me. I don't know how old she is. And she's a tiny thing too. And she takes her gun with her to Congress, and they're not happy with that. Ugh. And standing up for right. Okay, I'm going to read what Kyle Moscow is saying. Good job speaking your mind and standing up for what you believe in, even if you get the chance to check us out at the Woke Conservatives podcast. All right. I don't know about that. No, thank you. Brian Redband, Kelly Loeffler lost, but look who won. Lesser of two evils. Look who, I don't know. That was just. I dig her. Hope she gets to carry in the house. Which one? I hope you don't mind. I'm drinking Mango Cart. Who's 30? Wait, the girl in Congress? Anyway. Yeah, no, but I have hope. I think this is a really good time for, honestly, when everything looks bad, I think this is a great time for entertainment. I think this is a great time for comedy. I think that people are waking up. They're getting tired as crap from the political correctness. I think they're getting tired as crap from having to walk on eggshells and watch what you say all the time. And there's a lot of great comedians out there. There's a lot of great artists out there who are not politically correct. There's a lot of people that are making their own platforms, and I am all for that. So I'm personally very excited about the future, and I know a lot of things seem like pretty dark right now, but I'm very excited. But does she really? Globalists are our enemy. I know. The resistance voted back in the establishment. Yep, when I saw who they put the spotlight on in Capitol, I knew it was, yeah, and I'm sure a lot of that is true. This was putty in their hands, you guys. They've been saying this about Trump supporters for so long. So when it finally happened, they were like, for sure. That's another reason what makes me so mad at these people. I'm like, this is exactly what they wanted. And have you guys ever read Shelby Steele? I've been reading Shelby Steele recently. And this is how I feel sort of about people that support Trump or people that are Republicans. It's like you get blasted so much in the media. You get blasted so much by people. Like you have to mind your P's and Q's. Like you have to be cool. And one of the strategies that people had during the civil rights movement, during Martin Luther King's time is people were saying that they were bad people. So what did they do? They were like, you're going to call us bad. We're going to show you that you're the bad one. And we're going to sit here and we're going to be calm and we're not going to do anything and we're not going to be violent. And we're going to let you show your true colors and show who you are. And that was effective. God bless Antifa. Are you talking about me because I'm only 5 feet? Well, you're right. I'm only 5 feet. I can't offend myself. I don't know if you're talking about me or someone else. I'm 5'1". I can't defend myself. I'm just reading what you guys are saying. They need a group to control instead of real patriots taking that building. Fake leadership. Yeah, I mean, leadership, and that's sort of what happened also. After the election, leadership just went to crap. It imploded. And I think where a lot of people were upset too is right after the election, it seemed like everyone turned their back on Trump. Everyone turned their back on Trump. And I think it shocked a lot of supporters. It was so weird, too, because right before the election, the Republican Party was super united. And it was very united. It was very together. We were, for the most part, not all, but we were, for the most part, we were on the same page. People still had their criticisms of the Republican Party, and those are fair. But for the most part, people were on the same page. And then the election happened, and all of a sudden, everyone turned their back. And that's another reason why a lot of people were really upset, and a lot of people were really shocked. You're absolutely right. By not being violent really pisses off the people who are violent. You are absolutely right. And it's funny too, because I have friends that will call me and they'll complain to me. And friends of mine that are they're the type of women that they'll date guys and every guy is a butthole. Like they're like, oh, men are the problem. Men are the problem. And I'm like, maybe you're the problem, or I'm not getting upset with them. I'm not validating them being upset. And I'm just staying calm and I'm telling the truth. And they get so mad because people want you to feed into their anger. Have you ever been beside someone in line? This cracks me up too. Like I'll be in line at a grocery store and someone's behind me just huffing and puffing like, can you believe this service, or can you believe this person, or blah. And they just need you to engage in their negativity. They need it. And I refuse. And they get really upset. Who's a butthole? Create a new party. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that there might be a third party. It'll be really interesting to see what happens the next few years for sure. Really interesting. I think it's not over. I'm positive. I think it's just beginning. It seems really bad right now, and it seems a little cray, especially with the freaking censorship. Can't Trump and vote take action, especially with that? I don't know. Honest, that's above my pay grade, man. Treason. Yeah, I know. I understand everything all of you are saying, and I am just as mad. I am just as, can't we do this? Can't we do that? Can't we do this? I feel you for sure. The answer is, I don't know. Rush said to keep the Republican Party with Trump and kick out the rhinos. There's so many of them. There's so many of them. Yeah, I know. He's permanently suspended from Twitter. Weird. And that's the thing too. A lot of people don't understand this. If you are going to, this is what people don't understand. This is why censoring free speech eats itself, or it'll bite you in the butt, because that speech isn't going to go anywhere. It's just going to go underground, and then you don't have checks and balances. You don't have lefties saying, hey, you're a dummy for saying that. I made my mask out of vinyl screen. It confuses everyone. Master Angler, when does Trump get his Twitter back? Not even Jack Dorsey knows. No, he doesn't. But when you try to censor speech, it just goes underground, and then it gets more radical, probably, because you don't have anyone saying, hey, you're an idiot. So that's why it's just silly to try to ban speech. Lincoln won the election without even being a ballot in the South. That's not even the first. Or you could be, does anyone know the numbers on Kanye West? Like, how did he do? But he was not on the ballot as the president, right? He was the vice president. All right, guys. God, who is that? I don't know. Trump will make Parler. Hey, you never know. I love times like this. I love when everything's super weird, because that means it's about to get super cool. That's just how I feel. Kanye was on the ballot, but not every state. Oh, okay. But he was vice president, right? God bless Kanye. I love Kanye. All right, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I think I'm going to head out. The only other candidate on the ballot in every other state was a libertarian. Oh, okay. He got 0.3%. Uh-oh. Yeah, and that was crazy too. So Lindsey Graham, it was Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, and I can't remember his name, but it was another politician, and I just couldn't believe it, because again, I've been following this stuff, you guys, from the very, well, you've seen, we've been doing it together. We've been talking about all the riots all summer, and you typically see this behavior from 20-something little brats, or again, like people with like a criminal history, just people with nothing to lose. I'm seeing this behavior now. What election year will you be old enough to run for president? I haven't aged since 8th grade. And Brian Redband, I used to sign up for Kill Tony. And my opening joke, if I never got called, but my opening joke was going to be something about, I can't remember what it was, but it was about my voice and something about the current global helium shortage. I think I stopped aging in 8th grade. I don't think from appearance I'll ever be old enough to vote, but technically I've been voting for like, I think this is my 3rd or 4th election that I voted in. How are things in California? Are people starting to want to recall the governor? Oh yeah, so our governor, they're trying to recall 2 people right now. They're trying to recall Governor Newsom. He has apparently over, I haven't signed it yet, I'm going to, but he has over 1 million signatures on his, what do you call it, recall thing. So he has over 1 million signatures. It's open until March 10th, and they need at least 1.5 million. No, he doesn't. He has just a little over 900,000 signatures. He needs 1.5 million to put in motion the recall efforts. And we have until, I believe, March 10th or March 17th to get 1.5. So the last time I checked, which was about a week ago, he has petition. Did I say that wrong? Signature recall effort, whatever. Sarah, check out the YouTube channel called This Is June. Okay. I will. Petition. No, yeah, so there's a recall effort. He has, I think, about 900,000, a little over 900,000 signatures. He needs 1.5 to put it in motion. There's another recall effort that hasn't been set in motion yet, but we just got this new DA, George Gascon, and people are super unhappy with him. But he put in forth all these directives, basically like limiting sentences on criminals. So what's going on with people right now is he's using, criminal justice reform to push these directives, and people are saying, no, it's not criminal justice. It's actually like, again, whatever. There's a huge thing going on. And people are trying to recall him, but he just got put in office. So you have 90 days until you can officially start the recall effort, but he has a Facebook page. There's like 40,000 people on it, right? Not 40,000, 35,000 people on it right now. Yeah, almost a million, I think. He did yeah, he did. Yeah, it's the same guy as San Francisco, for sure. Petition? Yes, petition is what I mean. Did I say, whatever. Twitter unleashed the Kraken. Yeah, the Kraken was unleashed, but it wasn't where we thought it was coming from. It was, in fact, Twitter. You're right. Twitter did unleash the Kraken. Check out Slug. Okay, I'll check out Slug. I've never heard of. There's all these new platforms coming up. Oh shit, coming from California. In fact, no, it's fine in California. Yeah, we're very shut down. I always joke with people. Like I went to Trader Joe's earlier today, and I was getting some groceries, and the girl that was checking me out, they're so nice at Trader Joe's. They really are. The girl that was checking me out, she goes, "What are you doing this weekend?" And we both looked at each other, and we were like, that's how it will. Will less people vote Republican because the party is so divided? Yeah. Mm-hmm. They really screwed themselves big time. Big time. I think a lot more people, yeah. I don't know where they'll go as of yet, but yeah. People are really, 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 really mad and really upset. I agree. I like Trader Joe's. Yeah, I do think less people will vote Republican, but I can't say where they're going to go as of yet. I have no idea. But I do think that, yeah. Which sucks for the Republican Party. They also have a really good, no, you're right, Red Band. They have a really good dark chocolate, and they have a really good truffle chocolate. No band rehearsal for 9 months. I was so upset because I started playing my ukulele live, and it took so much courage to do that. And then, whatever. All right, guys. Okay. No band rehearsal. Or did I miss Trump? Yeah. Well, he didn't necessarily say, "Hi, my name is Trump. I am conceding," but he did say, "I'm going to support a peaceful transfer of power." He did say, yeah. I mean, it sounded that way, but technically he didn't say the terms. If this was QAnon, they would tell you to trust the plan, and the storm is coming, which I would love to think that's true, but I don't know. Okay. All right. I'm going to go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That was really fun. That was my first live stream, so I'm really glad you guys came out. Can you sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow while playing the ukulele? I can try. But I heard Raylan, probably. Somewhere over the rainbow. Hold on. That's the China virus. I'll play one song before I go. Hold on. I need to find my chords. Tiptoe through the tulip. I did try that. That's actually sort of a complicated song to sing. I'll try to see if I can play a little bit of Over the Rainbow. Let me find it. I got really into all right. You guys suck. Just kidding. I like you a lot. All right, I'm gonna play it. My singing voice is not. In order for me to sing good, I have to practice for about 5 hours every day. So, but I'll sing it for you, but it's not gonna be somewhere over the rainbow. All right, let's try that again. Somewhere over the rainbow, the sky's blue, and the dreams that were dared to. I don't know the lyrics. I'm so sorry, you guys. We'll try it again. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, the birds fly, and the dreams that we dare to. Oh, why can't I fly? Good enough. I haven't looked at that song for a long, long time. So thank you. I'll take the job. Okay, guys. Yeah, am I bright red now? You put me on the spot, but I did it. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That was my first live stream. I didn't think I was going to make an ass of myself on the ukulele, but I'm glad I did. So thank you, Red Band, for putting me on the spot. Thank you so, 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 so much. I really appreciate all of you. And these are weird times, but I'm glad to share the weirdness with all of you. And this has been an interesting journey. So thank you, guys. Have a good night. Bye. Now I got to figure out how to turn it off in the stream. Bye.